So, our lesson for today is still going to be this similar kind of stuff, but we're going to look at some kind of weird ones today. And it should be a little bit shorter, honestly. So, we're going to look at this problem up here, and we're going to solve for this, and it's going to be kind of a weird answer. So, I also kind of wanted to remind you guys, when we get to these tough kind of inequality problems here, there's kind of 3 steps to go through and solve, or to go through and do. So I have 10 minus 8a is greater than or equal to 2 parentheses 5 minus 4a. There's a lot going on in here, right? So this one is more complicated. Last time we just did PEMDAS backwards. But today, we're going to get into some tough problems. So, my first step in all of these is I need to distribute if I can. Remember distribute when I have the thing outside parentheses like this? So I'm going to distribute before I do anything else. So when I distribute, I got my 10 minus 8a. I have greater than or equal to, and then I'm going to multiply it through here. So I'm going to go through and go 2 times 5 is 10, minus 2 times 4a, 2 times 4 is 8, so that's 8a. So I distributed first. That's kind of my first step always, just in general. My next step is I need to get my variables together. So I have an 8a on the left, or a minus 8a on the left, and I have a minus 8a on the right. I want to put these together and just get one a somewhere, or just get a single a somewhere. So, help me out, Richie. I need to put one of these on the opposite side. Which one do you want to put on the opposite side?
The A's?
Yeah. This one?
Yeah.
Alright. So how am I going to put that on the opposite side?
That thing? I can't remember what it's called.
Plus?
No, it's like, you put a line under them, you put a line.
What?
I can't remember what it's called, so I know what I'm talking about.
Alright, let me back up.
Do it.
So, this is a minus 8a, right? What's the opposite of minus?
Plus.
Plus. We're going to plus 8a up here.
I was thinking of something else.
You thinking of dividing? Or are you thinking of square rooting? I don't know. Alright, and this is where it's going to get kind of weird. This is where it's going to get weird. So, I am going to add 8a to both sides. Trayton, what happens right here with minus 8a plus 8a? Meaning,
What are you asking?
Trayton.
Oh.
Is it a negative?
Mm-hmm. So negative 8a plus 8a. What do you get? What do you get?
0?
0, right? This is really a 10 minus 0 because these are opposite, so they cancel out and they turn into a 0. So if I have a 10 minus 0, do I really need to write minus 0?
No.
So I'm going to write 10. I don't have 10a or 10 minus a because I have 0 a's. If I have 0 a's, it doesn't really matter. So I have 10, and then I'm going to have my greater than or equal to. And then on this right side, Cameron, I have minus 8a plus 8a. What's going to happen with those? They cancel out and they're gone. It's the same thing, right? Minus 8a plus 8a cancels it out. And I've got this 10 there still. They cancel out to 0, and I go 10 minus 0 is still 10. Alright, and this is where it's kind of weird. I have 10 is greater than or equal to 10. Do I have an a in there anymore? No, they're gone. So when my variable disappears, that's when it gets kind of weird. So I need to look, is this equation true? Is 10 greater than or equal to 10? That is true, right? True. Because 10 equals 10, that is true. So this is a true equation. And when it's like this, I don't need to graph it. So actually, I have put the line here just where we want. We don't need to graph it. And our answer, when it is true, we say our answer is all real numbers. That is my answer. But when I do these, I usually go kind of lazy. and say I don't really want to write out that much, so I'm going to abbreviate it as ARN, all real numbers. And what this means is every single number is our answer. So, before we would make a circle and then point an arrow, a greater than or less than. So from my number bigger than or from that number smaller than is our answer. On this, all real numbers are our answers. So we have to have like one big, huge, giant line or something. So instead of doing that, we just say all real numbers. So if it's true, all real numbers. All right. Any questions on that? Okay. So the next one is going to be another kind of sneaky one. I'm actually just going to copy and paste my steps here so I can follow along, since I can't look back at slides like you guys can. Alright, so we're going to go through and we're going to look at 6m minus 5 is greater than 7m plus 7 minus m. So, on this, I'm going to follow these kind of 3 basic steps. I need to distribute first, but is there anything to distribute?
No.
No. There's no parentheses in here, so I don't need step 1. There's nothing to do there. But I can do step 2 a couple of times. I want to get my variables together, right? I want to get down to just a single m somewhere. So let's go through and look at, on this right side, I have a 7m and this minus m. These are on the same side, right? Because they are on the same side, I'm going to combine them. And I'm not going to do the opposite. I only do the opposite when they go to the opposite side. I'm just going to combine these and do whatever it is that I see. So I'm going to go 7m minus m. Juana, do you remember what number is in front of this m right here, even though we're not writing it? Yep, that's a 1. So really, I'm going to go 7m minus 1m. 7 minus 1 is 6. I have 6m. I still have a plus 7. And then on this left side, I have 6m minus 5. And then I got my greater than right now. And I'm going to put a little line there to make my 7 not look like an inequality. Alright, let's keep going through. Alex, am I down to a single m somewhere? No. So what am I going to do to put an m on the opposite side? So we need to put these on the opposite side. So because I'm going on the opposite, I'm going to minus 6m minus 6m on both sides. And then let's go through, Jared, what happens right here with 6m minus 6m?
It becomes 0.
I'm 0, right? So I got a negative 5 here. I have my greater than. Kyle, what happens with this 6m minus 6m?
Become 0.
Becomes 0, so it's gone. I don't even need to write it. And then I get 7 left over. All right. So my variables went away, right? So this is where it gets to be another kind of weird problem. I have negative 5 is greater than 7. Is that true? Is negative 5 greater than 7? Or is negative 5 bigger than 7? No, that's not true. So this is false. This is false, and like the last one, whenever you get something false, you don't need to graph it, so I actually put this there just to throw you off again. Whenever something is false, we say our answer is no solution. So it doesn't matter what number we use, it will never work. So there is no answer at all. So, and usually when I say no solution, I go kind of lazy and I abbreviate it as NS for no solution. You can write it out if you want to, I just like to be lazy. So my answer is no solution. Okay, this is actually basically all we're doing for today. What we are going to do, though, is you're going to practice a couple of these. And then you guys will get into homework, and I'll have time in class to work on it. There won't be a whole lot today. Everybody got this down, though, before we start into trying to... Hey, headphones! You guys take your headphones out. Keith! Keith, so help me. Take those headphones and introduce them to my friend Scissors.
Oh god.
Alright. So, we are going to do, this is your first in-class problem. Let's do just part A. Do just part A. And I will give you a hint. It's going to look like no solution or all real numbers. It's going to be one of those two. So, start with just part A. Go through and solve it. And see, is it going to be true? Is it going to be false? If it's true, you say all real numbers. If it's false, you say no solution. So on your own paper, do it on your own, and then check with your partner, see if you get the same answer, and I'm going to go over them together. We're going to go part A together, and you got to do part B. Remember, if you're putting the variable on the opposite side, you have to do the opposite. If they're on the same side, you just do whatever's there. So, doesn't matter, pick one. So, that work?
Looks good.
On the other opposite side.
Do we not want that in?
You want to put them all together, but what happens with these ends? Yeah, and they're going away, right? So this is kind of a weird one.
So like you have to. You don't do anything repetitive.
No, I like that description. You don't try to save them. Yeah. So you're minusing a 5 in on both sides, right?
Yeah.
Minus 5 in. And when you minus 5 in here, you got a minus it right here. I'm not sure where your plus 1 came from, but. Also, did any of you guys leave this here yesterday?
Oh, that's mine.
But I said my name on it.
That's me.
Okay, I'm just wondering. Alright, I'll give you about 30 more seconds. Then we're going to go over the first one. If you're done, you can start on part B. We're going to do that one next.
I don't know how to do these, bro.
And that's why we're practicing. So we got to get the ends on the
I
same
just
side, right?
forgot the signs.
So why don't we put this in over here by
Okay.
minusing 5 in. So minus 5 in on both sides. Because that's the opposite of that plus, so minus it.
I would have known.
Alright, let's go over it, and I think we're at Sophia. So what's my first thing I should do? Yep, we're going to get the variables together, so how are we going to do that? Do what? Not underline, because underline would be dividing, right? So what's the opposite of the plus? Yep, so we're going to subtract 5. If we underlined like that, that would be a divide by 5. Which you still maybe got the same answer, but what you should be doing is minusing 5 in like that. So you might still have the same answer. But. Alright, so let's keep going. Zoe, what happens with the 5 in minus 5 in? Yep, turns into a 0 and it doesn't even matter anymore. So I got a 9. Then I have less than or equal to. Dylan, what happens with that 5 in minus 5 in? Cancels out, it's gone, turns into a 0. There are different ways to say the same thing. But I got a negative 1 left over. Robert, is 9 less than or equal to negative 1? No, that is not true. So what do we say when it's false? No solution. So my answer on this one is no solution. Or NS if you don't feel like writing it out. Alright, pretty good. So, I want you to do part B now. Do part B. Tell me, is it all real numbers or is it no solution? So remember, get down to a single x on part B. So you're gonna have to combine some x's and then do the opposite. You done, Jared?
We're doing part B.
No.
Uh,
You're good. You just need to write your final.
Sure, we can.
Is that all real numbers? No solution.
what?
Is 9 less than negative 1? So that's no
Where you guys going tomorrow? For that field trip? What do you
Is an 8 greater than 2?
Oh, yeah, okay.
We're speaking about fast.
What are you? Where? I'm so confused.
Is 8 greater than or equal to? So that's true, right?
Oh, yeah.
Stop looking at So what's 1x minus 1x?
Oh, yeah, because the X.
1 minus 1 is 0. Is 0. Alright, about 30 seconds, then we're going to keep going through. Finish, Keith?
I don't even know what I'm doing. So I'm doing things.
We gotta put the x's together over here, right? So we want to go down to just a single x somewhere. So these are on the same side, aren't they? 7x and minus x?
Yeah.
So we're gonna combine them. So we're gonna go 7x minus x, because they're on the same side. So 7x minus x. And there's really a 1 in front of this. So 7 minus 1 is? Okay. So we got 6x on that side, plus 2 still. Where that?
Mr. Bulky. I just want to do
What? Let's put the x's on the same side, so minus 6x. Alright, let's get started going over this. Let's just go kind of a piece at a time. Joyceline, what's the first thing I should do?
do we subtract? Divide?
On this, we gotta put all our x's together, right? So, how about we put the 7x and that minus x on the right side together? So, let's put these together first. And then we're gonna have to do, remember the second kind of, our general steps were, you first distribute, but there's nothing to distribute. The second one is get all your x's down to a single x somewhere. So, we're gonna have to do this a couple times, but let's start with this. So I have 7x, and then I'm gonna go minus x. What number's in front of that?
1.
That x, right? So 7 minus 1 is?
6.
So we're gonna go 6x. I still have a plus 2. On this left side, I have 8 plus 6x, and I still have greater than or equal to right there. Alright. I think we're back around to... Okay, Keith, help me out. We're gonna put our x's on the same side, right? Okay. Because I got a 6x here, a 6x here. So, how do I get rid of a plus 6x?
Minus 6.
We're going to minus 6x on both sides. When I minus 6x on both sides, they are going to turn into zeros, or they're going to go away. Because 6x minus 6x is 0, so I just have an 8. I have greater than or equal to 6x minus 6x goes away again, and I've got the number 2 still. I have 8 is greater than or equal to 2. Is that true? Or is it false? What do you think, Susan? It is true. 8 is greater than 2. This is true. So because it's true, my answer, my final answer is all real numbers, which I usually go ARN. ARN. Because I don't like writing that for some reason. All real numbers. So for a lot of your homework problems today, your answer is either going to be no solution or all real numbers. It's going to be one of those two. So what I want you guys to do now is we are going to do, we're actually going to change the exit ticket around a little bit and just do number 4 on your exit ticket here. So we're going to skip 1, 2, and 3. We're just going to do number 4. And it's going to be like what we were just doing. Our answer is going to be either all real numbers or no solution. So I want you to do that. Then I want you to answer it in Socrative. And then from there, I will put your homework on Google Classroom. And you guys can start on that. So we, sure. So we still have like 15 or 20 minutes. So you should have a lot of time to get started.